Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the RPHS Band Fall Concert 2022. Let's hear it for the band. Oh my goodness, so much has happened since the last time we saw you. Good news. Last year's trombone crisis has been solved. So a hand for a full trombone section here. Look at that. We went from one trombonist to 5, and I couldn't be more thrilled. I actually thought, the trombones in this group might be one of the sections that might struggle the most, but I'm absolutely dead wrong. I mean, they have grown so much in just a month and a half. It's insane how much growth that they've had, and you'll hear that tonight. I'm super excited about this performance tonight. I was telling the kids in the room before I sent them out here that honestly, I'm having more fun this year than I think ever in my career. I mean, this is year 27 for me, and I'm just having a ball. They said that, band music doesn't change too much over the years. You're still doing all the fundamentals, you're doing scales and patterns and rhythms and all that stuff. It just doesn't change, and certainly there's new music that gets published, and that's fun and exciting, so I like that. But what changes from year to year is the people, and the chemistry of the people in the room with you. And just all 3 classes that we have here just have a wonderful chemistry, and I'm just having a lot of fun. I'm hoping that they're having half as much fun as I'm having, and you'll hear that tonight, I believe, in our performance. We do have, lots of special guests in the room, but one special guest in particular that's been on the kids' mind, and that's Mr. Ortiz. I see him right there, Mr. Ortiz. They grow up so fast, don't they? He's over at Hazelbrook Middle School, right, in
Yes.
Tigard, Tualatin School District, and so we just only had a couple of brief moments out in the lobby to chit-chat a second, and he says he's having a lot of fun with his middle school kids. He says they're keeping him on his toes. I understand exactly what that means. But thanks for coming out. The kids have been talking about you lately, and so we appreciate you coming to support us tonight.
Always.
So thank you. All right, without further delay, let's get into it. We've got One Note Samba, that one. Fantastic, yeah? It's great to hear a good trombone section like that. Thank you so much. The programs this year, so I think I've committed. I felt a little bit like nervous about it last year, but I've committed to the digital programs this year. But as I was putting it together, the reason why I think should be obvious, I'm trying to reduce single-use paper for our school, printing and the costs involved with that. It also helps me as someone who's not very good at attention to details, who often makes mistakes in programs, often makes mistakes, misspells names. I try, but I always seem to make at least 17,000 mistakes. But even till the last moment, I can go on the computer and fix any mistake, and it just corrects it in real time. So it's good for me too. And also, as I was looking over it a few days ago to put it together, I thought how boring it looked, and so I just tried to up my game a little bit, and so hopefully you enjoy some of the pictures and the colors in there, and as well as some of the information that I put in there. So, yeah, so that's where we're going with it. So next tune that we're going to play is probably one of the more recognizable tunes of all jazz times, and that is Route 66. I believe we have a couple of soloists. Who's on that one? We got Marcella and then Samrin back there. Good old Samrin. Love to hear his solos. All right, so here's Route 66. So much. We've just had so much fun putting this set together. We've been reading a lot of charts in class, sight reading, just a ton of charts. You know, when we came in, you never know where everyone's going to be. You can see it on paper and it looks one way, but then you get them in the room and you start reading music and you never know. And they've impressed me at every turn. They're reading really well, and they're really digging in so much deeper into how to play with a jazz style and with nuance. And they're playing, well, we like the term tighter in the jazz world. So they're starting to really play tight together. And it's just a lot of fun to watch them do the thing together. We got so much music planned for this year. We find ourselves, some of the kids have sent me tunes. Well, we should play this one. We should play this one. So we're buying a lot of music, and we're just testing it out to see how it fits us. And so I think the future of this band this year is going to be quite good, and we're going to be able to play a large variety of music for you. So we're excited about that. So we're going to slow things down a little bit. We're going to play our ballad for you. This is When I Fall in Love, and it's going to feature soloist Marcella on the alto, and then a little solo from Manny as well on the trombone. Nice work for the soloists. Once again, Marcella and Manny. Congratulations on that. I just sent Amy back to the band room because our trombonists forgot their mutes for this last tune. So I'm going to do a little stalling and just see how long, I should have set my stopwatch, just to see how long it would take Amy to go get those mutes. But this last tune that we're going to play for you, we could have actually played probably another 3 or 4 tunes for you. We had some things in the book that we played in a number of times, and we could have easily lengthened this concert, but, you know, try to keep it short and sweet for you. But this last tune, Caravan, a Duke Ellington tune, quite famous, and the kids just love to play it. I love to listen to it, yeah? And it features Samrin on the trumpet, and again, Marcella? Or no, Thomas. Oh, Thomas, the king, rushing. We should talk about Thomas for a second. He was homecoming king. Or as the kids apparently are saying this year, the Ho-Ko king. This is short for homecoming. So congratulations, Thomas, on that. So he's got a tenor sax solo as well. Actually, we start with the tenor, and then we have the trumpet as the second soloist. All right, so we're going to finish our set with Caravan. All right, I'm gonna turn the lights up for a quick second. We do have to do a little bit of stage shifting before the symphonic band comes on. I'm gonna estimate 4 minutes and 13 and a half seconds. We'll be right back. I was told we were 5 minutes and 51 seconds, so I apologize for breaking my promise of 3 minutes and 4 minutes and 13 and a half seconds, I think, or something like that. I'll work on it. Lucy, thanks though for keeping me honest there. So this is the symphonic band, and we've got a few numbers to play for you this evening. This first one, well, it's kind of a thematic here. So it's a little bit of a October season, a little spooky time. So this first one is called The Elf King, and it's based on a German poem of the same name. I'll just read the program notes. It's just a little bit dark. So The Elf King is based on John Goethe's late 18th century poem of the same name, in which a father and his young son ride home on horseback. So there's an equestrian theme tonight. Like there's horseback on this first one, and then our third tune we're playing is something about a Pony Express. So apparently I had some horses in my mind when I programmed this. Anyway, where was I? Oh, horseback, one dark and eerie night. Could be in October. During the swift ride, the concerned boy sees and hears supernatural beings. The Elf King and his daughters, the father does not see them. The Elf King is enticing the boy to join him willingly or by force. The father tries to calm the increasingly fearful son by explaining everything the boy reports as simply leaves rustling in the wind or willows moving in the fog. Nonetheless, the father rides faster and faster, only to find the boy is dead in his arms when he arrives. This is, like I said, this is a German poem here. Goethe's dark and gothic tale is brought to spine-tingling life in this harrowing, fast-paced tone poem for band. Whew, that's a little heavy, but we're going to do our best with that. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that. just remembered the one other thing I wanted to say before we played. I knew there was something, but I was totally forgetting it. I want to thank Taylor and Julia from the Wind Ensemble Percussion Section who are stepping in tonight and just helping out with a couple of the tunes that we're playing. They were so kind to come to rehearsal today and read through the music with us. And so let's give Julia and Taylor a hand. All right, so this next tune is a departure from the first one. The first one was a little bit intense, right? A little bit dark. This one, Amerland by Jacob de Haan, is a little bit slower and a little bit more pretty. This is the one that I programmed to really stretch them just a little bit and get them out of their comfort zone. Slower music is always harder to play than faster music because you have to sustain notes for a long time with good tone quality and good tuning, and it's just really hard to play slow music very musically. And so we've come a long way on this one, and I'm just really proud of what the kids have done to work on this one. So we hope you enjoy it. Yeah, I'll tell you. So on that last one, like that one was tough because the second half of it transitions into the key of C major, and you may or may not know that for bands, that is it's a tougher key for younger students, and so it takes away some flats for some kids who are used to seeing some flats, and it adds some sharps for kids who are not used to seeing as many sharps. And so that one was a good working tune for us to get us to get out of that comfort zone. We struggled with it a lot at first, but they've done a really nice job over the last week of really kind of pulling that one together. So I'm really proud of you for that one. That's a good one. Second thing that I really want to highlight right now is our 9th grade class. I'm going to brag on them for a second. Raise your hand if you're a 9th grader in here, a 9th grader. Yeah, so those kids right there, they were 6th graders in beginning band when we had our first, COVID thing. So in March, I think March 13th was our last day of school, and then we went home. So they had only had just that much beginning band. Fast forward to their 8th grade year. I wouldn't even call their 7th grade year anything related to band. I mean, that wasn't band. I don't know how they did anything that they actually did, but I'm amazed at what has come out of this 9th grade class with that. They basically 7th grade year was nothing for them, and then they came back 8th grade year ready to learn. I mean, they were ready to learn, and we had a ball last year. But the fact that they can sit here on this stage and play the music that they're playing, and as well as they're playing it at this stage, is just a testament to their grit and their resilience. So I really want to congratulate them for that. I think we kind of have the COVID fatigue. We don't want to always just keep talking about it, but at the same time, I don't want to gloss over the fact that they have achieved so much with that little of instruction that they've had over the last few years. So thank you for that. Our last tune that we're going to play for this evening is, well, again, the equestrian theme thing. So Last Ride of the Pony Express. Okay, so as it says in the program already down near the bottom, a big congratulations right away to the Wind Ensemble for being selected as a performing ensemble for our OBA All-State Convention in January. Let's give them a hand. That's a huge deal, and we're going to be performing in front of Oregon's finest music educators coming to listen to our performance, and we're excited about that. We're going to share a concert hour with Mount Hood Community College's Wind Ensemble under the direction of Danielle Davies, so we're going to be sharing that concert hour with them, and we're really looking forward to it. That's going to be in January. So before we get playing, let's just talk about a few people here. We've got a number of people here who are in all three band classes and playing different instruments too. So we've got a lot of that going on. We've got Noah, who is playing trumpet in the jazz band and wind ensemble, but he's also playing trombone, which he's never played before this year, in the symphonic band. So he's learning a new skill. We also have, going down the row, Thomas, the King Rushing, is tenor saxophone in the jazz band and the wind ensemble, and then he's learning trumpet for the symphonic band. Not before this year though, right? This is the first year. What up, Luke over here? I don't have a fancy name for your middle name, so I'll have to think about that. He's playing alto sax here in the wind ensemble and the jazz band, and then he's learning flute in the symphonic band. And then of course Marcella here, alto sax in the jazz band and wind ensemble, and also playing flute in the symphonic band. Tess, she's playing trombone in the jazz band. This is the first year you've ever played trombone, right? So, and then flute, of course, in the wind ensemble. And if there was an opportunity for her to play bass guitar, she would be playing it also in the concert. But you can see her out at the pep games for basketball and football playing bass for us. Have I talked about everyone that's in multiple groups playing multiple instruments? Oh, Francis, thank you, Francis, I appreciate that. I've got two more. So Francis, he plays bass in the jazz band, upright bass in the orchestra, and then he's learning French horn and is playing in the wind ensemble. So there's Francis, and then of course George, we can't forget George. George plays piano in the jazz band, cello, am I right with cello? In the orchestra, and then he's playing bass clarinet here in the wind ensemble. Learning that for the first time this year as well. Let's not forget Sobi. Sobi, where are you? Sobi's down here somewhere. Where? Oh, right there in front of me. Plays trombone in the symphonic band, and I believe cello too in the orchestra. So we have just a lot of people. Who? Amy. Oh my gosh, there's so many. There's so many. Amy plays, you can't let me forget because I'm terrible at this. Amy plays French horn in the wind ensemble and is bringing back her trombone skills. She played trombone all through the middle school and is now bringing it back in the jazz band. All right, who am I forgetting? Oh my gosh, Julia. Julia, she is a percussionist here in the wind ensemble, and she also sings in our wonderful choir. Who else am I forgetting? You're in choir too? Taylor's in choir as well, and he's playing in both the jazz band and the wind ensemble. Let's keep it rolling. What else do we got?
I forgot that Amy plays trumpet for Pep.
Oh my gosh, Amy plays trumpet for Pep Band. The point is, we have a lot of kids that are just really heavily involved in our music department. Okay, how many people are involved in the play that's coming up this Friday? So we've got a number of people here in the audience and up here that are involved in our play. Woof. Our performing arts department is busy, and we're just having a fun time doing the things that we do. So I'm gonna be quiet and stop talking and let these kids play. This first tune, Chasing Sunlight, is written by a Canadian Japanese composer named Kate Nishimura. I call her a young composer. She's 31. Well, I guess to me that's young now. Didn't used to be. But she's been writing some music now for quite a bit, and this was one of her most, it's one of her first compositions and one of her most popular ones. It's played quite a bit by bands all over the world. So we're gonna hope you enjoy the Chasing Sunlight. on our tone quality as an ensemble. And I am very happy with where we're coming along with that. We've always been really good with rhythms and technique, and anytime we go to a festival, we always score well on that. But the one thing that we just really need to work on was just the tone of our instruments, and so we've been putting a lot of effort into that, and it's paying off huge. Our tuning is improving, the tone color of the ensemble is improving, and it's just getting better and better each day that we do it. This next piece of music, called The Wishing Well by Rossano Galante, I'll just read the program note. It's a really interesting one. The European folklore describes a wishing well as a sacred place where one could utter a wish and then drop a coin into the well as payment. As legend has it, if the coin lands heads up, the guardian of the well would grant the wish, but if the coin lands tails up, the wish would be ignored. The wishing well paints a musical portrait of a young child approaching a well and making their wish. The music ebbs and flows, utilizing solo instruments as well as the full ensemble to describe the water at the bottom of the well. As we reach the musical climax of the piece, the full ensemble states the main theme as the child tosses the coin into the well, and we follow its journey down to the water. Delicate melodies, warm harmonies, and lush orchestration capture the essence of the child's wish. As the music tapers away during the final chords, we learn that the child has been granted their wish. We had some beautiful solo work by Ella on the flute. Come in, Ella. There we go. Solos on the oboe by Claire. And a nice solo on clarinet by the other Claire. So, well, we're up to our last tune. Like, that's sad to me. I really feel like we need more, but we don't have any more. So this is gonna have to be the last one of the night. Oh my gosh, you know what? There's one more person I forgot to mention. That's Caden. Caden here, I'm sorry, buddy. Caden here, he's an 8th grader over at Alder Creek Middle School. He's heavily involved in, was it PYP or MYS? Which one? MYS, and he's been playing clarinet and taking lessons for a good long time. So I thought, you know what? What if you were to come and play some stuff with our wind ensemble? So he's going to be joining us this year, playing some stuff with us. So thanks, Caden, for being here. Let's give him a round of applause. You can read about Caden and others in the program with congratulations for being accepted into WIBIC and All-State, and very soon we're going to have word of if any of our students were accepted into All Northwest, so we'll keep your ears open for that. I believe our next concert is going to be in December, so you'll hear some more awesome music from us then. We'll get to work after this concert and make sure we have a really solid program for you for that concert. So thanks for being here tonight. We really appreciate you so much, and we hope you enjoy our closing piece, Kalos Eidos, which is translated to Kaleidoscope. Oh, and that's written by Carol Britton Chambers, who coincidentally is going to be one of the guest conductors at WIBIC this year up in Seattle. That's in November. So these students who were accepted into WIBIC are actually going to be able to play in a band conducted by Carol Britton Chambers, playing a piece of music written by her. So I think there's like nothing more cool than being able to play in a group like that. The conductor themselves is the composer of the piece you're playing. Kate, you get to do that at All-State, because at the middle school All-State, Brian Balmages is the guest conductor for that, and so he's going to be able to play in a group conducted by Brian Balmages. And I'm sure there's going to be a Brian Balmages piece that we're going to be playing for that. So I'm excited for that. And so that is all. Thank you. Enjoy Kalos Eidos. Well, thank you so much for coming tonight. Please keep your ears open for the next concert. I think it's written in the program, but we look forward to see you there. Maybe bring some friends or 10. Join us for the next one. It's going to be a festive evening. So thanks once again.